Having enjoyed and benefited from the many free tutorial videos on After Effects, I decided I'd better provide one of my own. Here's a short tutorial on how to create a photo montage, either as a fast succession of images or a slower presentation of information. The easiest way is to load the images into Photoshop as layers at the right size and position. So let's presume this is done and go into After Effects to open up that file. Make sure they come in as editable layers. Create a new composition that's quite long, about 10 minutes. The idea is to make the transitions much slower than the end use, so that the whole thing looks smoother. Pick all the layers from your Photoshop file, put them in the composition. Next thing we need to do is shorten all these layers to about 30 seconds. So set the cursor to 30 seconds, and with the Alt close square bracket key, cut all the layers to a 30-second length. With them all selected, we can sequence them with the keyframe assistant sequence layers. We want an overlap of about 6 seconds. This gives about 2/3 visual image, 1/3 blend. And cross dissolve in the sequence layers is adequate, though there's other possibilities. So now we have our sequence layers. We can correct any mistakes. And then selecting them all, re-zero them to the cursor. And you can see the fade in and out now happens with all of them at either end. But we're going to resequence them, so no matter. Check all the layers work. Okay, hit P with all layers selected, about 6 seconds in, and set a keyframe. Go to about 6 seconds from the end, and set another keyframe by hitting the diamond. And go to the beginning, move the frames off, go to the end, move all the frames off in another direction. Now we need another composition. Put the first into the second, right-click the file, go to Time, and enable time remapping. Go to the end, keyframe, move one frame in, set another keyframe. This ensures that your time remapping relates to a keyframe within the file. Reset the sequence in Comp 1. And by crushing down the time, the sequence, instead of taking all of 10 minutes, can be set to about 30 seconds. Find the end of the sequence, keyframe it, and adjust the speed to taste. In this case, much shorter than the original. That speed of repetition looks about right. But it needs a background. Let's create a solid. Find a overlay mode that works. And we have our montage. Further changes can be imposed by zeroing out the sequence in composition 1, adding other transformations, bounces, easing in, ease out. But that about covers it. By making your sequence in one composition longer than the end use, and then time remapping it in the other, you have a lot of flexibility left in reordering the sequence and adding different effects. So we'll add a title to this and sign off there, except with a little puzzle. Are there any After Effects users out there who can describe how this simple but flexible effect is achieved? Cleverness points if you can. If you want to know how it's done, ask and I'll try and do a tutorial on it.